What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. And today we are selling. We're selling everything. The season has not gone well. We're 34 and 70. We're last place in the in the National League Central. The American League is the other one. And we haven't performed well. We haven't really hit super well, and we haven't pitched very well. We are July 25th in game. So we're going to try to make it all the way to the deadline, which lets us do a couple of things in this episode. A, it lets us finish signing some of our draft picks or attempting to. And B, it lets us have a complete roster overhaul. And maybe we'll go ahead and play Colorado just to see where the roster's kind of at. But there's no real sense in trying to win this year because we would have to basically go undefeated to have a shot at winning the division, and that just isn't going to happen. We're not even super competitive for a wild card spot. Our trade block, if you didn't make it to the end of the last episode, we have some guys, some notable guys. We did already make a trade. We traded Mlodzinski for Mitch Garver because I wanted a major league ready talent bat for the next couple of years. That isn't crazy expensive, and we do have the budget to have that contract, and it's fine. And I do want to still field a roster. I know that's sometimes when you sell, that's not happening, but I do want that to happen here. But some of the guys we're shopping are Jose Oviedo, Andrew Heaney on an expiring dealer, Bailey Falter, who I just think there's better guys. I know he has years of control. Dennis Santana, I'm going to see what we can get. I mean, Adam Frazier is on an expiring deal. He probably needs to go. Kiner Falefa needs to go. Both DJ Stewart and Tommy Pham need to go. We have guys that they're not going to help us in our potential window, so they just have to go, is how I'm kind of viewing it. They don't help us at all long term. So you guys are along for the ride today. It's going to be, once again, another mostly roster screen episode. We'll get into gameplay at the end, likely. But that's going to be what this episode is all about. So like and subscribe if you guys are new. And here we go. I guess the first thing we're going to do, though, is simulate through a day so we can look at our draft pick situation. So we're in an interesting spot on both of these guys here. Doug Morgan and Brian Fellows are really the two that I'm super keen on trying to get. I don't know that either of them are going to be great, but I am kind of hoping that they're good pieces, at least for the minor leagues for the time being. Doug Morgan's at 70% motivation to sign. We're going to get him all the way up to 76% motivation to sign, see if he does. And he does. And that's huge for us because he might be good now. And in the future, you can see his overall potential. He's an 81 right now, which I kind of doubt. But the potential being somewhere between a C and a middle B, we will take in the outfield. He's only 18. He's pretty young. So that is huge. That's a big one for us, which leaves just Brian Fellows as the lone guy that I'm even sort of interested in trying to get. I do kind of think I'm going to leave him alone for a minute, for another second, and get the 5+ motivation. We have 2 more shots at him, and I think if I can get him to 72, we can maybe sign him. But he's a first base with super high potential. I don't know how good he'll actually be, but for the game purposes, if he's like a B or an A potential even, he would be a great trade piece down the road. He's only 19 as a first baseman. Bats right, throws left, plays some corner outfield. So on to some draft stuff as well. I believe we are going to probably want to take a look at other people's trade block just to see what's out there. Obviously, Dennis Santana is here for us. If there's anything that would help us down the road, that might be interesting. Otherwise, we're just going to start hunting for some trades and see what kind of happens. So if we're trading for somebody, they got to be young. That's going to be the bit here. They got to be young and they got to be controllable probably. Jace Young fits that bill. The problem is we have so many second basemen, although he could play third, but Brian Hayes has played well enough in this that I think he's like he's played well enough to keep his job. All right, let's see here. So the first guy that I think is on my mind to trade is likely Adam Frazier, and I think some prospects would be interesting. And we'll just see like what level are we looking at here. What happens if we pair up Frazier and Andrew Heaney? Tigers offer us Jace Young, and it's kind of calling my name. I don't know where he'll play. I think it's good for both sides. He's definitely going to wind up being better than Adam Frazier, and even if he can figure out how to play first, maybe over time, I it would be helpful. And maybe corner outfield, but he's so slow. So maybe he is just like a second base, third base, first base kind of guy. It's interesting to me. I don't know that we're getting a ton better than that. Ooh, except for Jack Caglione. Really? The Royals would do that? Guess he's so bad in this roster. He's a 58 overall. He's just so bad, but it's interesting. A potential though. It's Jace Young or Jack Caglione for sure. This is why you scroll through all your options, kids. And that's true both on MLB The Show and on Hinge. Life lessons with Josh. The Mets are offering Ronnie Mauricio, and he might be a better option than JC Young is, as they're just trying to offload, kind of like in real life, they're trying to offload some of their middle infield depth. I think this is the direction we go for content, of course, because adding Jack Caglione is never a negative thing. I think we're going to take Jack Caglione. I think we're just going to roll the dice that we're not going to be good this year, but hopefully in the future he develops to be a nice player for us. He would figure to play alongside Connor Griffin here in a handful of years. And maybe we'll try to figure out a different way to get Jace Young is still very appealing to me and Ronnie Mauricio. But I think anytime you have the opportunity to pick up an A potential player, especially in Jack Caglione, you have to do it. So we're going to do that. And Jack Caglione is now a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, we're going to shop Dennis Santana and just see what he can get. I don't even know how to say that. Is that Ixon? 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 The Jays are super keen on getting rid of this Kloffenstein guy. And I am only interested in him and considering it because his name kind of sounds like he maybe helped build the nuclear bomb. Okay, we're going to try that with Bailey Falter and see what that potentially looks like. Braden Montgomery from, I believe this is the White Sox. Is that true? A B potential outfielder is a position of need. Travis Bazzana, an A potential second baseman. We just have so many second basemen. This is a better option than Young, I guess, and he does play left field. He's close to major league ready, I guess, is what the game is saying. At least in Cleveland he is. And we just make this a super young team, and we likely are bad again next year. But then we're probably good the year after that with all the guys coming up. Because we still have Tamar Johnson, we still have Nick York. We could probably move Bazzana to just be a full-time outfielder with O'Neill Cruz and Brian Reynolds. And Jack Sawinski is still just the fourth guy in that. But the Guardians, I guess, in the simulation are just going for it. And I think it would be foolish not to take Travis Bazzana. And I think that's going to be better for us long term than even Braden Montgomery would be. And I think Braden Montgomery would be the second choice in this situation. But I think Bazzana is too big of a prospect to pass up, especially since what we're getting him for is Dennis Santana, who likely is not still here when we're competitive, and Bailey Falter, who we have pitching coming up behind him. We are going to take this deal. I think Travis Bazzana is here. So the Guardians bolster their starting rotation and their bullpen a little bit, and we get a massive return. The Yankees are offering us a deal, and I need for the game to tell me why I should even consider this. Just straight up 1-for-1, they're like, hey, yo, Giancarlo Stanton and his $21 million contract for 3 years, that's not going to help you in any way. for Tommy Pham on an expiring deal who's regressing horribly. My God, I didn't realize he was regressing this bad. It would be funny to take, but we can't. What am I gonna do with Stanton? Watch him regress until he dies? I don't think so. The Padres are offering us a deal, and it is Tirso Oramas. And that is not a name that sounds familiar to me, so we're going to have to look. He is a lefty, he's a C potential. It would help the outfield depth a little bit. I just think we can do better. So I think that's a decline for us. Unfortunately, we are now just 2 days away from all the things. I think the next one is for sure Kiner Falefa, probably David Bednar. And I would like to see what kind of MLB guys we could maybe get to supplement some of the guys we're sending away. Just to see what's out there. And Ryan O'Hearn is not somebody we're going to be interested in, unfortunately. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Yankees are going to give away Garrett Cole. I respect the Astros' commitment to trying to trade the face of their franchise all the time in these videos. He's got a backloaded contract, I get that, but also he's Jose Altuve. Like, you're not trading him. Christian Javier, on the other hand, Alec Jacob could be a real good ad for the pen because we need pen help in a bad way. And he's actually been dominant for the Padres this year. And I think it would solve some problems for us. He's 26 already. He's an 85 overall, but he is controllable for a long time. And he's already had major league success. I think he would sim pretty well. I think we're going to go ahead and take that. I think that's about as good as we're realistically going to get out of Kiner Falefa and Bednar because he's good right now. It kind of improves the team this year, if we're honest. But then also long term, I guess the Padres need a shortstop is the rationale on this. And maybe Jacob is blocked by who knows what's in their bullpen at this stage in this dynasty. But I think we are going to go ahead and take this. He's an 85 overall reliever. Neither Kiner Falefa or Bednar, if we're honest, are going to be here when we're competitive. And Alec Jacob might. So we're going to go ahead and take that deal. And we're feeling pretty good. I'm trying to pair up players that I think aren't worth a ton with guys that I think maybe are worth a little bit more. So Tommy Pham is next. I'm trying to see who else was maybe on our trade list. I think the big one left is Tommy Pham, and I think likely we're going to try to pair him with Caleb Ferguson and see what that gets. And then I'm not super in a hurry to offload any of these guys. Maybe we'll pair DJ Stewart in there, but we need outfield in a bad way at this point. We'll see if we can pair all three of them together to get some prospects of some kind. That would be exciting, I think, for the video, but we'll see how we go because I don't know. We'll see what we're able to get. Anything would be a bonus from those guys because they just won't be here long term. We could bring Caleb Ferguson back, I guess, but like to what end? And it's interesting because Braden Montgomery is on the table again, and we do need outfield in a real bad way. And it would be just a real quick and easy 3-for-1 swap there. So he's on my mind a bit as we go through. All right, I think we're just going to wish upon a star and hope that Braden Montgomery works out. He's a B potentially a switch hitter. His age and the way he's coming up likely means that he's going to be in the big leagues in a couple of years, which is right around when I think we'll be pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and take that. And for the most part, I think that ends our deadline. Now, you're going to watch me do a bunch of lineup screens real quick while I try to figure out what's what and where everybody is. And I'll get back to you when all that is said and done. All right, lineup-wise, at least for a minute, this is what we're looking at. It's O'Neal Cruz, Nick Gonzalez, Brian Reynolds, Mitch Garver is catching for us full-time, at least for a second. Spencer Horowitz is here, Brian Hayes. Jack Rannigan is up to make all of this work, and he's going to play some shortstop for a second because Nick Gonzalez is going to play second base, and then Jack Sawinski and Josh Palacios is here, and then our bench looks like that for the time being. Very similar for lefties. In AAA, we just have a bunch of stuff. Billy Cook is hot, so we're going to ride the hot hand there. Tamar Johnson is playing second base every day. Braden Montgomery, who we just traded for, has done things, and he's in right field for us for the time being. And then Travis Bazzana is going to play some left field because that's the spot of need in that place. And it would maybe make sense to play him over Tamar Johnson, but also it doesn't super make sense to do that over Tamar Johnson. And then in Double-A, the important guys, Jack Caglione is going to play first base every day, and Connor Griffin is here as well to play center field every day. So that is the current look at our situation. I would love to try to sign our draft picks. Brian Fellows is still here. Tom Chu is still here. I'm going to offer on Brian Fellows. We're just going to see what it does. We have $4 million left. And I think offering him over that is going to be a good idea. I think we just offer him right at slot value because the potential is so good and just see what he does. And he goes ahead and he signs with us. So that leaves basically just Tom Chu, the two catchers. I don't think we can get the potential to sign there in time. So we're going to go ahead and leave those, and we'll see if we can get to Tom Chu. But that's going to be a very important and very helpful piece to the puzzle. All of the people we just signed. Our rank is still 21st. We're still not a good team. We're a different team now, but we'll see how we go. We have one last offer on trade deadline day. It's from the Guardians, and they are offering us Gabriel Arias, which is a name that I've heard. Also, Yandy Diaz, evidently, is a Guardian now. So that's cool. Gabriel Arias, does he do anything for us? Not really for Oviedo. I guess. Okay, so I actually lied to you. Joseph Ortiz from the Brewers, who has been pretty abysmal in real life, but has been good in this simulation, is now a Marin. So we're just going to leave it. So that's what the roster is kind of looking like right now as we do this. I think I need to finagle like one more reliever up, probably. Although I don't even know that that's true. We actually need some more major league guys. So it actually is true. So we'll see. I'll get back to you guys in a second when I've done that, but it'll be a second. So please hold. All right, Ryan Baroki is going to be the guy that winds up being the major league call-up. We're at 24 guys there. Could we use another? Probably. Am I going to do that? I should, but I'm not right now. A three-man bench is okay, I think, for the time being, because we do have a couple of guys coming back from injury shortly. So I think this is what we're rocking with for the next game. So we're going to simulate, do that, and call it a video. And the White Sox offer us one more trade. It's for Mike Tauchman. It's just not worth it to me. We want to keep some amount of playability with our bullpen. And today is the deadline to sign draft picks. Let's see if we can make a call on Tom Chu. And I am going to offer him, I don't know, slot value probably. And he decides to sign with us, so that's good. 18-year-old, pretty good pitching potential. I don't know that he'll be great now, but that's where we're at. I'm not too worried about the rest of the guys at this moment in time. So we're going to call that a win and probably jump into a game against the Colorado Rockies. We are just going to jump into a few moments to see how the team feels to end the episode. Mitch Keller started this game, actually. It was pretty dominant. You can see the rest of the team has been less than dominant, it would be safe to say. And Tyro Estrada is going to come up to the plate. We jump in the bottom of the ninth, and we're just going to see what happens. Bottom nine, up 2-1 against one of the worst teams in baseball. And we get the strikeout. There's 2 outs now in the bottom of the ninth. And it brings up Ryan McMahon, a guy that I'm kind of surprised didn't get moved in this simulation. We are, of course, pitching to Mitch Garver, a new acquisition. And that is going to be a win for the Pittsburgh Pirates. We've done it. Take a suck of that, Colorado. And we're going to jump into another game with Colin Holderman now in the game. I'd love to get the new guy into the game just to see how it kind of feels a little bit. And we are in the bottom of the 8th. And we do need to protect the lead here. It's 2-1. And that one's immediately ripped foul by Ezekiel Tovar. Felt like that was a pretty good pitch, honestly. As now we're falling behind 3-1. Chris Bryant is on deck. He is still here. And the grounder, Hayes makes a play. The throw is late. And we are tied at 2 apiece. Unable to protect the lead, but now I would like to be able to protect the game. Obviously. Alec Jacob is the guy I was thinking of. We just brought him in. I'd like to try it to see how it feels. What's the vibe? Because that's a line drive. Cruz gets one of the worst jumps I've ever seen. He didn't react. And we're behind now, 3-2. I mean, just a brutal jump by O'Neal Cruz. One of the worst. Boy, if Cruz is getting jumps like that in the outfield, I don't even know that I want to know how the simulated games are going. We survive-ish. We now got to go score a run. Is going to be the way that works. And we're going to have to do it against the Rockies closer, who I guess they're saying has a pretty electric closer entrance for a pretty bad Rockies team. It's Tyler Kinley. He's been good. He has been good. I will give him that. It is Spencer Horowitz, who is in the lineup today after him. Ke'Bryan Hayes, Jack Brannigan. Some guys we would like to see production out of, certainly. 1-1 from Tyler Kinley. We hit it semi-hard at Ezekiel Tovar, the shortstop. And Horowitz just hasn't produced a ton. Here's Ke'Bryan Hayes, and he has had a heck of a season so far, and we need a big moment here. We just do. That's a big part of this. Forgot to change the camera angle, and I'm pretty sure this is not even the one I normally use for these videos, as that's a ground ball up the middle, but it worked, so we're not going to change it. Ke'Bryan Hayes is on the board, the second hit of the day, and it brings up Jack Brannigan, who we've called up to make this entire episode work, basically. He's playing some short right now, but he's actually a third baseman. But he's not going to be because Ke'Bryan Hayes is going to stick around, it's looking like, because he's playing pretty well. But could he stick it short? Maybe. And then what does that do to Nick Gonzalez? There's a whole lot of questions we didn't even really get to talk about in this episode because we were just trading everybody, so maybe we'll talk about it in the next episode. As Brannigan rips one down the line, it's just foul. Small sample size, obviously, but hitting .333, which we'll take. I don't think you're ever going to complain about 333, but we'll complain now because he's a little bit less. Looks like his thumb is glitching through his hand. And I hope that's not a thing that happens to him in real life. This feels like that would be very painful. And something actually maybe you wouldn't want to have happen to your hands. That's pop up to left, and it'll end the game. Zala's pulled a muscle in his leg. Gotta stay active there, Pop. Oh, you know what I want to do? Like, actually want to do? I want to go check out the new guys down in the good old... Oh, Lord, the Copa jerseys. We're going to go player lock with Jack Caglione to end the video. That feels like the thing to do in this world. Our AA team is actually 60-40, which feels pretty good, honestly. The Altoona Curve. We don't do a whole lot of minor league action in these episodes. We did the Futures game last time, but a player lock with Jack Caglione, our newest member of the team. Feels like it could be kind of cool. It's like slightly tough that we're facing a lefty, but I guess it's fine. So we get Connolly early. And we're swinging early with Caglione, and we have a base hit with my man Jack Caglione. Caglione doesn't feel the fleetest of foot. I won't lie to you guys. Which I guess is fine, but, you know. It is what it is. Player locking, by the way, feels weird, as I feel like that's gotta be crushed. Always next time. I feel like there was something weird I remember with Jack Caglione's nickname, where it's like something something Caglione is the C. It's like his initials, so it's actually like Jackson Arnold Caglione Caglione or something. I don't super remember. And a first person mode. What is about to happen? Oh shit. I gotta be the cutoff guy. That's on me. I've never had to do that before. Should I have thrown it to second? Yes, absolutely. That was the correct thing to do. Did I try to do that? Yeah, I thought I did. But maybe I double tapped the button and then he pump faked. And is that really on me? Don't answer that. So that's pop up. Caglione kind of runs like he looks like he's constipated. And not like in a good way. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Josh, how could one possibly do that in a good way? And I'm here to tell you that I don't know. So that's a ground ball up the middle, and we have a 2-hit day with Jack Caglione, who looks like something's prairie dogging down there. This is a steal situation. How fast is Caglione? 38 speed? I assure you this is not a steal situation. It's 3-0 and he's got 38 speed. My man runs like he hasn't pooped in a week. And we're trying to steal? I think you are sadly mistaken. Maybe we steal with full count. I'm not going to, but like maybe. And that's ball 4. Is it still going to be a steal situation to get to third? I kind of doubt it, but I guess you never know. How is this a running moment for us? Here's Connor Griffin. He's hit a commanding 048. And it gets worse now as we're tagged out and there's a double play. Maybe we need to send Connor Griffin back down to single A just to keep developing. I don't super care. The Portland Sea Dogs of Portland, Maine top us. And so we didn't win. But Caglione had a couple of hits. That was the important part for us, for the purposes of the video. I think the last thing we're actually going to do, we're going to player lock now with Travis Bazzana and see how that goes. Check it out a little bit. Just to see what the vibe is. You know what I'm saying? It's the Indians versus the Iowa Cubs, who you'll never guess who the Iowa Cubs are a minor league team of. All right, actual last thing, we once again get a lefty because that's just how this is working. Because of course it is. You know what I'm saying? And immediately we're off to a worse start than we were with Jack Caglione. It's not going great early. Oh, I have to play the outfield. This is not good. Now it's super not good because it's rolling to the wall. Can I release the ball, please? Oh, no. I have never done player locked moments. I'm not a big road to the show guy. I don't think I've fielded a ball in the outfield in MLB The Show in years. Maybe in the last 10 years. I don't know that that's happened more than twice. And we're obviously off to an incredible start here. Clearly. B.J. Murray. Oh, we're winning now. So that's good. Oh, I have no idea what's about to happen. Make a play. Pulse catching. We're diving. Oh. And we're making plays? Yes. Get absolutely bodied, Iowa Cubs. What an incredible play by me there. We're even going to watch the replay of that. I feel like I had very little control of what was about to happen there. But you know what? We made the catch, and that's what matters. All right, it would be sick if we were able to make a hit. I say make a hit. If we were able to get a hit. So that ball's hit-ish well into right field. Not well enough, though. That's going to be a fly out. Tough times have fallen upon Travis Bazzana, our newest addition. And again, I just don't super care enough. And we win this one. So there you go. We're going to end the episode on a win. So I do think that's going to do it for the episode. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, let me know what I should do with the roster. I think next episode, we're probably getting to the end of the season because there's no real point in dragging this first season out. But thank you guys for watching. We'll catch y'all in the next one.